So I was rummaging around in the archives and came across a couple of leaflets I thought you might be interested in, particularly if you are a Roland aficionado. One is for the TR-808 and the other is for the TB-303. Now, I was slightly disappointed that I didn't have a leaflet for the 909, but such is life. Now, these leaflets were produced in the early 1980s. This was well before the internet was a thing. And at the time, musical instrument manufacturers used to produce glossy leaflets and brochures advertising their equipment, and you could pop along to your local friendly music store and pick up a handful of leaflets containing all this equipment and drool over them, particularly if you couldn't afford them, like me. Now, I've scanned these at the highest resolution my scanner will allow, and I'm recording this video in HD, so if you put it on pause with a bit of luck and a following wind, you will be able to read the leaflets if you wish. So the Roland TR-808 was released in 1980 and it had a relatively short life. It was discontinued in 1983. It was not really a commercial success. It launched in the US at $1,195, which was around £765 in the UK. Now, I'm sure if you could pick one of them up at that price today, you'd be quite happy, but in the 1980s, that was quite a significant expense. The 909 was launched a couple of years later, 1983, at $1,300. So it was more expensive, but it had more features, including MIDI and a sequencer and arguably better sounds. That was discontinued after a year, so also not a great commercial success. Around 10,000 of these were actually produced, so you might wonder why they still command a significant price on the second-hand market. The TB-303 was released in 1981 at $395 and around £240–250, and it was designed to simulate the sound of a bass guitar. It was significantly more affordable than the drum machines, but it was still a lot of money back in the 1980s. It also was a commercial failure and stopped production in 1984. Now, all this, as they say, is history. Now, I think all these TR and TB machines have been reissued or cloned in one form or another by one company or another, either by Roland or Behringer. If you want a genuine instrument, you can check out the prices on Reverb or eBay to see what the second-hand market values these at. I recently spotted an 808 on Reverb for over £5,500. Now, the early 80s were devoid of affordable drum machines, but Roland did release the Dramatics, which I actually bought. And they have also re-released that as well. Now, it was a bit clunky, it was a bit limited, and it wasn't the easiest thing to program, so I have not been tempted to reinvest in that one. I think it was designed to go alongside the TB-303. So that was a bit of a blast from my synthesizer past. I'm not actually sure why I still have these leaflets, but it's only a slip of paper, so it probably didn't seem worth throwing away. So if you've enjoyed this and want to see more, then do let me know in the comments. I'll see if I can dig out a few more interesting snippets and make a little video about them as well. And you might want to consider subscribing to the channel, which is all about synthesizers and synthesis and electronic music. Click the big red button, ring the bell. Thank you, it really does help and it costs nothing, and you'll get informed of new videos as soon as I release them. As always, I do appreciate you spending time with me watching my videos, so for that, thank you very much indeed, and I will see you again very soon.